Yes, that's a good way for our players to mark Easter Sunday. And what are some of the things that you're saying about these big stories? I have joining me now, Coyote, to review some of your comments and contributions. Hi, Coyote.
Absolutely, Bukola. Quite a number of stories, big ones, absolutely. Not minding the fact that the weekend was Easter holiday, there were still stories that got you and other Nigerians talking. So let's get into some of them this morning as much as we can. And I think the first one would be the AFDB boss, Sekiome Adesina, proposing United States of Nigeria. Now, this was actually in a speech he made when he received the Obafemi Awolowo award, but then his spokesperson brought out that part and put it out over the weekend just so Nigerians can get more value from that particular speech. And a lot of Nigerians have been talking United States of Nigeria. You're wondering what that means. Of course, it sounds like United States of America. But what he was trying to say is have economically viable entities. It's not just be a political thing, but these entities, the states that make it up, must be economically viable. Let's take this first statement from Kanrabai on X. And this is what Kanrabai says: it will work with 100% resource control by each state and only tax to the federal government. If not, nothing. So yeah, that's the first comment on that one.
That's a loaded one for everyone to reflect on, perhaps as we continue to our pursuit for true federalism.
Right.
This next one is from Olva, who says, the restructuring comes with independent states in a united Nigeria. That's it. Giving each state full autonomy over their own affairs is a route to solving many of Nigeria's enormous problems. Excellent submission. Thank you. And thank you for your post.
Absolutely. Olua, I think, styled in a different way. But take a look at Emmanuel Norum says, what would be the economic impact? Will that make Nigeria united? People are not united by terminologies, but by a common goal. Fix the goal, fix the direction, and we wouldn't need to change any name. Perhaps also take a look at some part of that speech. Maybe that can give some more insight into this.
Well, that's if Nigeria is seen as an alternative nomenclature to a United States of Nigeria. This next one is from Sulaiman, who says, this is an intriguing concept that could significantly impact the country's governance structure, but we need to improve our economy first.
Daniel 18 Tanya says, good proposition, which will make us better. United States of Nigeria simply means allowing each geopolitical region to rule themselves in form of a regional system of government. This will be a welcome development, believes.
And this next one is from Speechless, who says, do we actually need a change of name or change of mindset towards the proper development of this country? Every one of us has one or two impact geared towards achieving that set goal. Let
me just give you the quote from the FDB boss's speech. Says, instead of the federal government of Nigeria, we could think of the United States of Nigeria. The old will give way to the new. But keep those comments coming in, hashtag CTV Morning Brief and across all social media platforms. But that's not the only big story that we have today. There's another conversation which is making the rounds.
And this one is from the Kaduna State Governor, who is saying that he inherited $587 million debt from his predecessor. And Nigerians have begun talking about that already. This first one is from Ogarobe Jemi, who says, once you take a seat of leadership, there shouldn't be room for excuses. All that matters is results. Over 1 year in office should be enough to make sufficient provision for monthly recurrent expenditure for the state. Country already had no excuses to starve the people.
Well, Governmentson, that's the name of this user on X, says government is about continuity. If Ashiwaju keeps complaining about debt, he won't do anything. And he talks about, World Bank giving the state a loan is a testament that such state is viable enough to pay back.
Well, this next one is from Damagum, who says, what does he mean by we can't pay salaries now? It said that the government in Nigeria makes salary payments optional in the budget. A salary is a fundamental human right of anyone that has earned it. It is not optional. Where we'll have to verify if indeed the Kaduna State governor said categorically that salaries can be paid at this time.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know it was in a town hall of sorts that the governor mentioned that, and some are taking it different angles. I mean, it's information that should actually be out there. Everybody should know about these things, but some say, well, was it done in bad faith and all of that? Well, this next person, Ebenezer Anointu, is calling on EFCC, and there you see that tweet saying there's no room for excuses right there. So these are some of the angles Nigerians are approaching this conversation with.
Well, whichever one that you like this morning. But the point must be made that, federal allocation to the subnationals has increased. Some would say doubled, but, the exact measure of increase is somewhere between 40 to 50% of what they used to get. So, it's only natural. It's a no-brainer, really, that a lot is expected of the subnationals, particularly amid these challenging times. But the Kaduna State governor, has outlined the different programs ongoing for the people of Kaduna on different platforms that you can also find on our station, so that we can balance the conversation. Should we move on to the next talking point? 13 new governors borrowed 226.8 billion naira in 6 months. That's according to the Debt Management Office, which is also somehow related to what we were talking about before. And the first point is from Prince Wilforce, who says, despite high allocation to state, hardly will you, I believe, see new governors with a meaningful project in their state. Well, you must verify that, Prince Wilforce.
And, VN Wyford says that, that's the sum total of the capabilities. Borrow, spend, and leave a debt mounted for their successor. And says that creating an enabling environment for investment and creation of real taxes and all that, he thinks beyond their skill set. So this is a time for the governors to, show that this is not who they are. This is a challenge, by the way, from this user. And hey, Nigerians have seen these things time and again, so you understand why a lot of people have this mindset about governance.
Yeah, we hear you, Victor. We hear you. This next one is from Chisom, who says, why do the Nigerian government, I believe he's talking about governors here, keep collecting loans? For what exactly? I don't have the answer.
So let us know what you think about this, particularly because they are new governments or new governors in this case. And there's actually a list. If you do the analysis by the DMO, there's actually a list of those states. So the question is, have you seen that story? Is your state on that list? Are you asking the appropriate questions? We need to trickle these things down to everyday Nigerians so you can be a part of governance. So if you see your state on that list, even if your state is not on that list, make sure you are asking questions from your councillors, local government, your representatives at state and federal government. We can go on and on, but keep those comments coming in, all right? And we'll switch gears now.
Yes, we're switching gears. We'll be asking those questions on your behalf, by the way, today and on all other days on the program. And we're starting with our continuing conversation on the essence of the season. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this time out.